Hey guys, it's Sunday, so it's finally time to return to the weekly Nightmare Corridor and Cursed Realm guides. In this video, I'll show you guys my teams. I'll also show you guys some guides that you can use for the Nightmare Corridor and the Cursed Realm. We have an abundance of guides today, so you can look forward to that. But let's start out in the Nightmare Corridor. So currently, my time, honestly, it's not that good. But I'm not really incentivized to min-maxing my time in my leaderboard anyways, because I think this time is enough for top 200, so I don't want to spend any more diamonds. So the teams that I used, shout out to Ryzen for these teams. I pretty much just copied his teams. So yeah, for the first team here, it's the Vika team. There are no real notes for this team. I think a +2 collection of this Trader's Vault in here makes a big difference, but other than that, just throw on some generic strong collection on Vika and some full attack elsewhere, right? Full attack on everyone else. I can see that I didn't even do that, but yeah, full attack here, and yeah, should be pretty simple. Next team, this is the Thane team. For this round, you really want to merc a Thane, and that Thane really wants the SI 40. So I'm merking Loka, one of my whale friends, Thane, with the +40 signature item. And that's pretty much the requirement in here. Other than that, +2 collection helps for rain. And if you have more +2 collections, just throw them on as well. But other than that, it's just full attack everywhere else, right? And this one is just an essence regeneration. Should probably be full attack realistically. Right, next team. This is the Scarlet round, right? So for the Scarlet round, yeah, I mean, as always, full attack everywhere. +1 effect on Lucilla is nice for this one. And then for Scarlet, just, toss on a generically strong attack collection and you're good to go. And yeah, use this pet. Next team, this is the Athalia team. Now, there are many Orthos variants. I refuse to make the Edwin variant work, which frees up, if you use Edwin, it frees up Adrian. But making Edwin work for me anyways is just, it's too much of a hassle, and time isn't an infinite resource, and I really wanted to focus on Curse Realm for this week. So yeah, I just threw in Edwin in here, and it worked. So for the notes for this team, the main thing is you want to make sure that Orthos has the lowest HP, so he receives Liberta's Link, and then you want to make sure that Athalia has the highest attack, so she moves during Orthos's ult. So for me, to fix this, I just removed all Orthos gear, and that made him have the lowest HP. And then for Athalia, Palmer was actually having more power than her, but I just removed his gear, and then Athalia had the highest power. And yeah, got down to like 17 seconds, which is completely fine. What is not completely fine is this team. I know like there are some Belinda cookers out there. There are different cooking out there. For me, I just got my 2 minutes and 33 seconds and I got out. So yeah, you can definitely make strides and improvements if you find something else than this team. But yeah, I just threw this team in here. And yeah, the time is not good, but it's enough for top 200 for me. So I really didn't want to spend more time in here, especially when that time could be spent in the Cursed Realm. As for the collections, just grab full attack where you can, and move on. And +1 for Saurus is good. All right, and last but not least, this is the Baden team. So you need engraving 30 on Trashia. I'm using the new Celestial hero in here. I mean, you can use, what did we used to use? Like Lavatune and Emilia and heroes like that. But yeah, I mean, I just threw the new Celestial chick in here and the time is pretty decent overall. Right, so let us head over to the guides real quick in the browser, if I can switch scenes. Right, so this is a new guide I haven't incorporated before. And as you can see here, credits down here to Vlab and Abyssal Whale Guild members. I saw this, I don't actually know who posted this guide, but yeah, it's pretty good because it tells you of pretty short term, right? There's different variations of the team, right? 1 or 2 different options that you can check out, and it also tells you of collections and different notes in here. But yeah, for me, I didn't really follow this guide, to be honest. I just looked at Ryzen's formation, but I'll link this guide in the description because it's really well done, telling you all the subs that you need on the different heroes, right? And here, notes for the Orthos team. Yeah, pretty good guide. I didn't personally use it, but I just thought it was so well done that I wanted to shout it out and tell you guys about it. Another guide that I didn't personally use, but I'll also link you guys, is the Chinese guide, right, for the Nightmare Corridor. And yeah, you know, the Chinese guide, most people don't have LAN or don't have access to a LAN merc, so I didn't even bother. I could probably get a LAN merc, but then I wouldn't have Thane, so it kind of collapses on itself. But yeah, if you want, you can follow this guide as well for some different variations of the Nightmare Corridor teams. Alright, let's just head into the Cursed Realm and get this over with. So, for the Cursed Realm, currently I am top 4%. I'm probably going to drop a lot once people figure this round out and once more people attack. But for this round, let's just look at my teams. So, first of all, as you can see my tree here, this Lucius team can hit like 23 billion, but before it was able to do that, I needed to max my tank tree. So I just sacked my warrior tree completely for some higher damage potential in this team. As for the collections, I'm using +2 on both of these heroes. And then, inside on this guy, I don't have a good inside collection. Just stacking a full defense on the entire team, full attack, full defense. And yeah, +1 effect from this collection is also fairly significant, but it's heavy RNG. For this team, another heavy RNG team is the Belinda team. It caps around, for me anyways, 27, 28 billion damage, and sometimes it hits for 19. Pretty flip-floppy, whatever it chooses to do. The only notable thing is you probably want a +1 of this collection and a +1 of this collection to keep Jerome alive, especially if you reset your warrior tree. And yeah, other than that, just Magic Pierce here, Essence Regeneration here, and just a generic strong collection for Belinda. Next up, this is the Dragon Gwyneth team. Now, yeah, I mean, sure, it uses Dragon Gwyneth, but alternatively, you can drop out Dragon Gwyneth and just use Awakened Sophia, and that does around like 12 billion damage. So for me, Dragon Gwyneth only adds around 3 billion damage, but it was for sure the most optimal mercenary that I could hire for this round. For this team, Dragon Gwyneth just needs to have the highest attack, and then ideally you have more of these collections with +2, but for me I didn't really have that available. So yeah, I just took my potentially 15 billion damage team and I went away. But this is also an RNG team. Speaking of non-RNG teams, this is just whatever I threw together for a SEAL team. I am sure there's a better SEAL team out there. As always for SEAL teams, you just want to get inside wherever you can. And then I just threw on whatever onto Solus, and for this guy I just threw in some strong attack collection because he was actually doing, like, as you can see, he's doing like 16% of the total team damage, so I thought he might need some attack. But yeah, Seal is obviously the one doing the damage in here. This team could definitely be improved, but I'm done for Cursed Realm anyways. Next team, this is also an incredible high RNG team. So for this team, there's a few variants. If you don't have this chick, you can use Emilian here. That makes the team even more RNG, but potentially it can hit the same highs. And you can actually use Aurelia in the first team as well, for even higher peaks in the first team, but also for me, more RNG. As for the collections, I'm pretty much just stacking inside wherever I can for this team because it is a CC team. Yeah, I don't really have like this, I don't know, like I've never used this type of collection, but Urine kind of enjoys it. But if you had one with a lot of insight, that would be good, or even the +2 effect would be pretty good as well. And yeah, I'm also using the new Wilder, but she doesn't really need much investment. Last but not least, this is the Trashia team. There is another variant. If you want to use both Shuna and Rimuru in here, you can hit 30 billion damage pretty easily. For me, I'm using Shuna in the first team, so I'm just using the old, what is she called? Desira variant. And the only thing you need to make sure in here is that Desira has the lowest HP, so she receives the Liberta Orb. And then it's pretty much a non-RNG team. Right, so that's my team. Let me go take you guys on a journey for this Cursed Realm. So, first of all, let's head over to the browser. Let's start there. So for the browser, obviously, the Chinese guide, if you scroll down, it also has a Cursed Realm subsection, or whatever you want to call it. which I didn't personally use, but as you can see here, here's the Shuna Rimuru variant for the last team, and here's some different seal variants you can try out. Personally, I used Awakened Aaron with Fire Breather pet in here. If you have land, you can try out the land teams. But yeah, pretty whaley guide. I wouldn't personally look too much at this, but it is fairly good for guidelines. And also, again, shout out to Vlab and Abyssal Whale guild members. This guy, right? He also made it a variant for the Curse Realm, and this one is pretty good. Personally, I didn't actually. Well, I looked at it and I did follow it, but I'll show you guys what I ended up following that was more helpful for me. But yeah, for Curse Realm, it's great, right? It tells you collection and notes and stuff like that. It's really good, right? And different variants of the different teams, right? So if you don't have Gwyneth, you can use the Sophia version that I spoke of. And if you don't have Lan, well, I guess if you have Antandra, you can make like the pseudo Lan team. I didn't obviously do that because I don't have neither of these two heroes. And then obviously for the Yoran round, there's some different variations, and then they also list both the Shuna variant and the Desira variant down here. Right, so this is actually a pretty good guide, but you know what the best guide is? Now we're jumping even further down the rabbit hole because we're heading over to my Discord. So well, it's not my Discord, it's my guild Discord. Manuel, I can't see his name, so there's no way I can pronounce it, but Manuel Alkaya Yaga, that is not it. He basically posts weekly guides in here, and he posted this, the MVP, which is this guy, the Quagga, and this basically changed how I did my Cursed Realm, because I just basically looked this guy up, because whenever this guy posts someone who's the MVP, you want to look at them in game. So that's exactly what I did. So if we head back to the game, I went to region 14, and I found this guy. So as you can see, I just pretty much copied this guy's teams 1-to-1. Actually, I kind of improved the seal team, but not by a lot. But yeah, I followed this guy's team to 1-to-1. I'm still not sure how he hit this RNG. Personally, I've seen 23 billion damage. But yeah, and this just gives you like the blueprint, right? Because you can check out his collections, whatever he does. And I believe this guy is probably the most min-maxed, not whale. Like, I don't think this guy's a super whale. Obviously he's on an older region, so his tree's pretty high. But yeah, I basically just went and looked at this guy's teams and tried to replicate them. So I would implore you guys to go look this guy up and screenshot his collections and try to imitate what he did. Obviously, he also has pretty high pet levels. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the Curse Realm. Let me just make sure I didn't forget anything. I don't think I did. Did I want to shout out anyone else? I think I might, but now I've forgotten, so that's not good. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else. So yeah, the TLDR. Look at my teams, and if you don't want to look at my teams, you go look at the guides that I will be posting in the description, right? Mainly these two guides are pretty good, and there's also the whale-ish Chinese guide for both of the game modes. And then as specifically for Cursed Realm, you do want to head into the game and go to region 14, and then basically try and emulate what the Quagga achieved for this round of the Cursed Realm. If you can emulate this guy, I believe you're a pretty good way pretty far away into getting a good score, right? But it's late here, so I do want to finish this video off. Also, if you guys tuned in for the live stream I did 2 days ago on Friday, where we summoned 2 awakened heroes and the new celestial chick. Yeah, I just want to shout you guys out if you tuned in. That was a pretty good live stream. I believe we even streamed for like almost 2 hours, maybe even more. I can't remember the exact time, but yeah, it was a pretty good time. The rates for the Stargazer, yeah, I won't spoil it, but let's just say, yeah, we did have to dip into the diamonds, even though we started with 1,000 cards. So I'll let you guys figure out what that meant for the rates. Yeah, but that's just what to be expected at VIP 10. But yeah, I'll stop yapping and I'll see you guys next Sunday.